Yeah, so guys, I applied for this position. The position was an information technology specialist, right? However, the position had like a description underneath it, and there were two things they had a description for. There was a budget and compliance. They had their own description, and there was management information systems or something like that. They had their own description. One of those had more of an IT role compared the budget had like an accountant type feel, finance type feel to it, and there was the MIS systems or whatever, and it had like all the IT duties or whatnot. I applied for that one position. I'm assuming that hey, they see my resume. They're not gonna give me the finance position. Why would they do that? Because my resume is basically IT, right? The requirements for this position is IT troubleshooting, maybe a 2-year associate's degree, a real IT field. So they're asking you for IT duties. They want you to have an IT background. So yeah, I figured, oh, I got this position. So when I got the position and they told me about it, I'm thinking I'm good. I got the IT position. Lo and behold, I get there and it's not IT. I actually end up with the budgeting finance joint, and I'm looking over documents. I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? Like, I had to get this one. And it's funny. What's funny is we have the orientation. Remember, there's two descriptions. One position, two descriptions. We get there. I meet the other employee. I meet another nice young lady. We're talking. She's like, "Oh, you got the IT? Your IT as well?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." We're going to the same place. I said, "Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, we both got those same positions." I didn't think nothing about it, but until I was like, "Hold on. If we both got the IT position, then one of us got the real IT position, and the other one got the budgeting, the finance one." And you know, I got shitty luck, so more than likely I got the budgeting joint. So that's what I got there. The next day I get there, and I'm talking to these people with all this tech lingo, and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, when you talk to this person, they'll let you know what's going on." I'm like, and I go to this person, I talk to them about tech lingo. They're like, "Yeah, yeah, when you get to this person, they'll let you know what's going on." So I mean, I get to the person, I finally figure out what my duties are, and I finally realize, yeah, I got the finance joint, the accountant position, not the one that really focused on IT. And that's where my journey began. So guys, I got the position. I got this position. I had this position as an IT specialist, and I was your boy. I was happy. I got it. I saw the paper. They sent me the contract. I was ecstatic. Let's go. How it is. I got it. I got to the job. I was talking to all this tech lingo, and they're looking at me like, "What is this guy talking about?" In their head, they're probably like, "Yo, what is this guy talking about? You're looking over documents. You're not a tech guy." So, I mean, they finally told me what the duties were, and I went from this. Let's go. And when they told me, when I found out what I was doing, it was this. Yeah, it wasn't a good feeling, but I had sacrificed so much. I had turned down a couple other jobs, so I had to stick with it. So this is my story. This is how I made the non-IT job. This is how I made it work. So when I first started, I was excited. I have had my bachelor's in cybersecurity. I had my Security Plus certification and my Network Plus certification. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do hands-on tech work. But my daily routine felt more like administration than IT. I log in every morning and see spreadsheets, financial data flow charts, all important work, but not what I expected when I pictured a technical career. I scroll through LinkedIn, see people in SOC roles, working in SAM tools, talking about vulnerabilities, and I think, man, I'm falling behind. That feeling of being stuck is tough, especially when your job title looks good on paper. Because when recruiters see IT specialists, they assume you're getting hands-on technical experience. But inside, you know the truth. You're not configuring anything. You're not troubleshooting networks. You're not sniffing any IT tools that you studied for in the past. And the worst part of it, you don't want to sit in an interview one day and have a recruiter ask you, So what did you do in your last position? Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, right? That moment hits you when you realize you need to find something you can talk about that actually fits your IT goals. So we were actually in a meeting one day going over business proposals and other documents. And the security team was in the meeting and they were asking our team questions in reference to some security requirements. So they were back and forth. And I kind of caught a little bit of it because I wasn't really interested. I wasn't paying attention until they start talking about the security portion. And they were going back and forth. And I'm like, oh, wow, maybe I can step in and kind of answer some of the questions. But being that I was new to the meeting, I didn't want to kind of overstep. So what happened was after the meeting, I reached out to my leadership. I was like, hey, you know what? I kind of understand some of the questions that they were asking in reference to the security requirements. And, you know, I let them know that, look, I have the Security Plus certification. I studied for this, so I have the skills and the qualifications to actually take over this project. So, I mean, I would love to look over this and kind of answer any questions that anyone have about it, you know. So she reached out the next day in an email and she had a task for me. She was like, look at the state's policy, match it up with the current policy, and just try to look at all the business proposals and make sure they have that in there, that language in there. So I basically went through the business proposals and I was making sure they had all the required cybersecurity language in them. And that was my task. And I ran with that. So like I said, you grab onto one thing because there's something in IT. There's an IT element that you can take and you can run with it. You know, I kind of use that. You know, you can kind of embellish a little bit because look, guys, you're not lying. You know, you're actually doing this stuff. You're just embellishing it a little bit. You know, why can't you do that? I mean, it's fair, right? You know, so that was on my resume. Whenever I do the resume, that's on my list. That's on there. That's one of the duties. When they ask, what do you do? Like, hey, look, I looked over business proposals. That may not be enough, but what you don't understand is like that certain duty, it falls under GRC. So if you were applying for like a GRC cyber position, I mean that you already have that duty. You're already looking over cyber, matching up the policy basically. You know, you're managing that policy and you're looking over those documents. But I digress. Back to what I was talking about, right? So, I volunteered for that position. Not for the position, for that duty, and that became the duty that I focused on. So I would go to work, and I was excited about that because I actually had something that I could focus on, and I took advantage. I really flourished in that part of my job. So that's what you guys could do. Like I said, take something out of your non-IT job because there are elements that you can take out and use them. Yeah, so here's what I learned. Sometimes your job title says IT, but your duties don't, and that's fine. As long as you're intentional about turning it into a stepping stone. Every skill you add, even small ones, can connect to where you actually want to go. Don't just do the job. Find ways to make the job fit your IT story. That's how I turned a non-IT job into experience I could actually talk about. I took something tangible, which was the cybersecurity requirements that they had me looking over. I took that and I ran with that. I used that to elevate my platform within cybersecurity. So like I said, guys, if you're in a non-IT job, look for those type of elements. Talk to your higher up like I did and let them know where you want to go with your career. Let them know that you're interested into IT and you want to do more hands-on tech. Let them know that, and I'm sure some of them are even willing to work with you. And last but not least, update your resume. Keep those resumes updated. Things are constantly changing. Positions are constantly coming out. I mean, I'm sure that there is a hiring freeze going around, but there's certain positions that are coming out. GovTech, you got government, you got the private, you got different ones. You got the state as well. So yeah, just keep applying.
Yeah,
Don't give up.
The truth is, not every IT job starts off
as an IT job. Sometimes you have to create your own tech experience inside the one you already have. I talked to leadership. I told them straight up, I wanted to move toward cybersecurity. Whenever something comes out, they always ask me, hey, are you interested in this? Are you interested in that? And I tell them, of course, if it's cybersecurity, yeah, why not? I'm definitely interested in something that I can, build my career that can help me move forward. It's all about progress. You got to progress. So remember, you can't always control the role, but you can control what you take from it. Volunteer for something close to your lane. Make it tangible. And the next time a recruiter asks you, hey, what did you do in your last position? You'll have more than crickets to offer. Thank you for watching.